Welcome back to the Comic Book ASM Artist. Today we are doing another comic book haul. As a bit of a heads up, on Sunday of this weekend, I'm going to be going away for a week for a family vacation. So I'm going to have another video queued up to go the following Saturday. And as you all know, I'm pretty prompt with comments, but when I am away, there's pretty much no reception, so don't worry too much if I don't reply, as I normally do on your comments. I will get to them when I get back. First off, I got Spawn number 298. This is the Road to 300 with a nice homage to, I believe, the first issue he worked on for Amazing Spider-Man number 298. And in the back you can see he'll be continuing that theme for those issues as well. So I can't encourage you all enough to check out this series if you haven't been. It's pretty much gonna be comic book history, regardless of if you're a huge Spawn fan or not. It'll be a momentous occasion. And I've been noticing, especially in this issue here, they are doing more in the way of like more action and catching you up in the present day than the past issue or so, which was really more about summarizing the history of Spawn. So this issue is more current lead into 300. And I do encourage you all, if you haven't already, to follow Todd McFarlane's social media. He has been posting videos and pictures of him working on the road, inking over Greg Capullo's pencil work for Spawn number 300. And he's been off like inking pages on a plane, on a boat, while cross-country driving in Canada. So pretty entertaining stuff, and it's good to see him so excited and devoted to Spawn after all these years still. Next off, I got a Silencer number 18, and this is the final issue of her own series anyway. I'm sure she'll pop up again. And of course you see Ramita doing what he does best with the rain sequencing. He's done quite a few times with Spider-Man and stuff. And I didn't read last month's issue yet either. Still a little behind from my previous haul. But based on this, I would say that things have kind of calmed down for a little bit. But it's been an interesting series, and I hope she sticks around and where she shows up in other books. I feel like she would fit in with the Gotham crew because she's been interacting so much with the people over there. and then having the history with Talia al Ghul and everything. Next I got Detective Comics number 1006. And this is a new story arc. The previous one wrapped with the Arkham Knight. And this arc is all about the Spectre. And you can see it's more of a darker art style here. But I definitely like it. Looks like something you would see in a Spawn book, I think. But it's a nice change of pace. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't yet already. You can see we're slowly or fastly, whatever you would prefer, approaching 1,000 subscribers. And I'm doing a huge autographed signed comic lot giveaway for whenever we hit that 1,000 mark, and cement it a little bit where it's like 1,012 or whatever. Because YouTube always has a couple people unsub or whatever. So I encourage you all to, like and comment, share. Help me grow this channel so we can do more cool stuff like that. And then I'd love to be able to get like live streaming back from my phone. They take that away from you until you have 1,000 subscribers now. Next we have Action Comics number 1012. I feel like this Superman here almost looks a lot like the Henry Cavill. He doesn't have the spit curl there, but just like the facial mannerisms here and everything. But I like it. I like this cover. I'm trying to remember the artist who's on it. Can't seem to find it. Ben Oliver. And the artist who's working on the book changed. It's not Epting anymore. It's Simon Kradransky. He was previously working on Spawn a while ago. But I can definitely tell on this book, Simon is inking himself. Whenever he would work on Spawn, Todd McFarlane would digitally ink over his stuff. So the inks aren't quite as tight as they have been in the Spawn books he's done. You can see a little bit of the facial imperfection there too. Still definitely better than what I could do, but more or less I was just surprised to see someone who's been working on Spawn working on a Superman book. In this book, you pretty much, if you're following the event Leviathan Rising story, these are a nice companion piece to those. Do a little tracing there for you. Next we have Dick Tracy Forever, number 3. It's like in this one they start the interiors right on the inside cover. Oh, never mind. I thought that was a little unusual. And this has been interesting. Like I said, this current mini-series, they're doing a lot of like mini segmented stories to kind of give it a more of a newspaper strip feel. Next is Drawing Blood, number 2. This is by Kevin Eastman and Ben Bishop. It is a semi-biographical story about a guy who creates a comic called Radically Rearranged Ronin Ragdolls, if I remember. And they're all cats instead of turtles. And I believe this was originally supposed to be a 4-part mini-series. And then Ben Bishop on his Facebook profile teased working on issue number 5. So we'll continue, assuming the response has been positive on the retailers and with people trying to get it. And I have been getting the Eastman covers. And then in the back it shows what they would look like if they had their own 80s cartoon show. And you can get this shirt on Eastman's website. And they have a lot of cool stuff on his website. Check it out. You can become part of his fan club and get access to a lot of exclusive merchandise. I believe it's $40 to join for a year. And you do get membership perks and stuff, as well as access to things like covers he's done that aren't even available through retailers, things like that. I got Batman number 73. And from what I've seen from this, it's a pretty much alternate universe. Thomas Wayne escorting Bruce across the desert while intermittently singing Home on the Range, at least for a good portion of it. So I didn't read the whole thing, but that is what I gathered when I thumbed through it. I guess they revealed some more big news about Tom King's Batman miniseries he'll be doing after he's off the main book. They will have the Mask of the Phantasm be a regular character in the ongoing Batman continuity, as opposed to just being in the animated series. So it's kind of a big deal. And I got Turtles Urban Legends number 14. Notable thing here, one of the turtles dons Shredder's armor. And if I remember, this series is concluding at issue 20 maybe? Or it could be 24, I don't know. But it has, I believe, 4 issues that were never published previously that will neatly wrap up the whole story. Next I got Usagi Yojimbo number 1, and this is the start of him in the IDW universe. And from what I've read, this is not a reset for the character. You just pretty much need to know that he is a rabbit samurai, and then you're off. Lots of big action, as Stan is known for with this series. The main difference here is the comic will finally be in color, as in the past it hasn't been. Although I don't know about his most recent runs, they could have been. But I think that's the main notable difference here. And then of course they'll be able to do more Ninja Turtle crossover type stuff. And if you already realize it, Usagi doesn't even make an appearance until about mid-issue here. See? So that's page number 12. So Stan is a strong storyteller. He can keep you engaged even without focusing on the main character. Then I got the Terrifics, number 17. And I'm still way behind on this series. I did not expect it to continue as long as it has. But I think it just really fills that niche of like a just offbeat superhero group. You know, they have Fantastic Four-like elements, but not too much. I mean, Fantastic Four has a lot to do with the family dynamic. There's still this dysfunction within this group, but it's not quite the same as the Fantastic Four. But there's definitely a lot of like science fiction-y type feel to it. Next I got Superman Year 1. The main thing I love about these, most of the Black Label books is that they have this large magazine size format. I'll still have to get like a, magazine long box as opposed to a normal comic box to keep them all in, but I do enjoy the widescreen format. But I am looking forward to this. I am a fan of both Miller and Romita Jr. People give Romita Jr. a lot of flack here recently, saying he doesn't draw as well as he used to. He's drawn a lot though, and if I'm not mistaken, he actually holds the Guinness World Record for most pages drawn. Now, I don't remember if it was consecutive pages in an order or not, but I recall him doing something where he was like publicly drawing for like an event for maybe 24 hours straight or something, where he was closing the gap on whatever the record was. And I believe he was drawing Kick-Ass when he was doing that, but I could be wrong. But that's what I vaguely remember. I also like how these are fairly contained, like this is a 3-part mini-series, and some of the other ones as well. Like there's not a huge, year's worth of books you have to buy. Granted, they're about double the price of a normal comic, but having them in the pristine format kind of helps. And I got the conclusion to Batman Damned. This is the Jim Lee variant cover. That looks like it spoils a plot point. And I actually haven't read the other 2 parts yet. I've just seen the pages that I've flipped through here on the channel. I love the art style for sure, and I might do a reading of it on this channel. If I do, it will be an age-gated, and when I read, I do not read swears. I censor them, because that's just how I am. But if you're curious about the story, down the line I will more than likely do a reading of this, just because the artwork is so unique. Next, I want to show off some of the books I got the previous week that I ran out of time from the half-price books. I found volume 2 of the original Stan Lee and Kirby collected Captain America. And I'd even love to do some stuff with this in the future too. Jack Kirby was definitely a huge inspiration for me. Captain America is my favorite hero, and reading Jack Kirby's stories he did with him easily cemented that love of the character. Even though, Captain America doesn't have any powers, Kirby was able to make him look strong enough to handle anything without having a bunch of abilities other than hand-to-hand prowess, And he would showcase it, he would have a page where he would trade blows with a villain. It might even be in this issue here. Well, the example I'm looking for is not in here. The Baron Zemo or Batroc the Leaper fight. But we do have some aim combat here. But yeah, you can just see how kinetic and easily he was able to pull off, big action on the page. Then I got this Batman Unwrapped David Finch Artist Edition. And this was only, I think, $7. Didn't have the dust jacket, but it's, like typically around a $40 book or so. But the concept behind it is you get to see the original pages scanned, like the original pencils. And I appreciate the fact that they still leave in the dialogue where you can read the story. But you can see like the dots there from the page borders for the cutoff for the bleed line and everything. But you can read the story and then enjoy the original pages too. So very neat, especially if you just want to study an artist's style and be inspired, And then there is a portion in here where they show some ink work. And then finally, this I had never seen in a hardback format, but I remember when I was like 4 or 5, and my brother went into a local comic shop, and he came out with the, trade paperback version of this book. This is a Batman story done entirely in CG, I believe from 1989 or 1990. It says 1990 here, but you can see, the early days of CG. But when this came out, it was very much a big deal. And this is something I would like to cover in more detail in a later video too. But this back image here, this reminds me of the Batman Beyond Return of the Joker special right there, with the digitized Joker. Well, that's gonna do it for now. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hope I have a good vacation and a safe trip, and I'll be able to get back to you guys within a week here. Like I said, if I don't respond to comments immediately, don't worry. When I'm back, I will get to them. But make sure to like, comment, subscribe, so we can hit that 1,000 and do that 1,000 subscriber giveaway. You all have a super slumber. Thanks. Bye.